Hey everybody, welcome back to Chin Fat. In this episode, I'm continuing going over instructions on Davinci Resolve, and we've been covering the tools of Davinci Resolve. And in this one specifically, we're going to be covering the Qualifier, which is also considered what they call a secondary color grading. Primary color grading, to put a definition on primary versus secondary. Primary color grading is what they call a global color grade. It's where it's affecting the entire image. If we grab this image here, let me reset that note. If we grab this image here and we push blues into it, this is primary color grading right here. When we push the blue into it, it pushes it into the entire image. If we're trying to get more yellow out of that, like out of those flowers, or more green out of the leaves, we showed you some ways that you can do that with the curves, but this is a very, very more specific. This is selecting a very specific color vector and correcting just that color vector rather than the entire image, and that is what secondary color grading is. Primary is global, where secondary is correcting a portion of your image based on, in this instance, right down here, if you hover over this, this is HSL, it says there. Yeah, you have different modes of doing this. I find that the HSL, I'm just going to be going over the HSL feature in this because it is the more, in my opinion, the most used feature. But you have RGB, you have Luminance, and you have 3D. But right here, we are doing what's called an HSL selection of the image in a specific color vector within our image here. So the HSL stands for hue, saturation, and luminance. And you have hue slider, a saturation slider, and a luminance slider here. Notice the hue, you have all these different colors that you can choose from, and then the saturation is whatever color you've chosen. If we go up here and we click on the flowers here, click on the yellow here, click, you'll notice it's got a little midpoint right there. You'll notice it's got a little midpoint right here. That is the exact color in that dark line there that we've selected right there is the exact color that we've selected. And then these edges, these triangles are basically, it's feathering off of that color here. So it's still selecting these colors less and less as it gets further away, and then less and less as it gets further away. But this is the biggest portion of the image that's selected right there. You can even change the width here. You can drag this across, and now it's choosing a wider range of absolute selection on those colors, and then it feathers off as you drag these triangles down there. So, but what we want to do, we want to just kind of keep it in the center because we want to keep just that level of yellow there. So I'm going to go up and click on that again, and that has put my little center point right there. So it's really just chosen that one little specific sliver of color right there. And once again, we can increase that. But what we want to do is we want to be able to see what we are selecting here. So I'm going to zoom up to my flowers, and we're going to see what we are selecting. You can tell what has been selected by looking at your node here. You can see just barely, it's so small, we're just seeing little dots of yellow right there. That's what it's selected, but if you really want to see that on a bigger screen, you go up here and click this little highlight button right there. Highlight will do this. It will show just the colors that you are selecting, and the background is going to be gray. If you want to do this in a black and white mode, you can click right here is your color and gray. Right here is black and white. The white is the stuff that's selecting, that's leaving in, and the black is the stuff that it's leaving out. So in this entire image, everything that's got that shares that kind of yellow is what it's going to be correcting within the image here. And it doesn't matter if sometimes if it selects stuff outside of that, because that could stand to be corrected a little bit more as well. You can do a mask on this and just have it do that little region right there. And we're not really going to be getting into masking in this episode. But let's turn this back. My favorite is the gray versus color here. And you can see all these little dots out here that share a little bit of that yellow hue that we've selected. Another thing that you can do is if you want to get more of that yellow here, you can click and you can just drag across the entire flower like this. And that selected a wider range of flower. And also, as we move down here at the bottom, and we look at our saturation, this is the level of saturation that it has chosen down here. So it's mostly on the gray end of the chart there, but you can change this range of saturation, and when you do that, we'll show you what's happening here. And also your luminance, different brightness levels. So it's selected this range of dark on up to this brightness of light there. That range of luminance is what it has chosen in this image up here. Now as we slide these, watch what happens when I grab saturation and drag. We want to get as much of those flowers without grabbing other stuff as we can. And right there, that level of saturation looks really good. Let's do luminance as well and see what that grabs, and we're going to try to grab even more of that yellow, as much of that yellow as we can, and that looks pretty good there. So now the only thing that this node is going to correct is what is selected in my secondary color grading. So now we can go over to saturation and boost the saturation up to make those really, really bloom. And let's turn off our highlight here so we can see the entire image. But now with this node selected, that should just be correcting, that node should just be making those yellows super, super yellow. So watch this as I turn that node off. This is the original yellow, but now Command D will bring back those yellows there. So we can do the same thing with the greens here. We can go Option S and make another one. This one is our yellow one, and if you want to remember those, you can right click on a node and you can say node label, and we'll just say yellow flowers like that. And we're going to go and do this one, and we'll call this one node label, and we'll call this one green leaves. So we're going to do this one as the green here. We're going to move over, and I'm just going to click and drag along all this green, even into the darker green, so we get a better selection of the green. And you can see as I do this, watch, I'm just going to watch this change as if I just do a single click on the green. See, it changed the width of green that it's selecting. It changes the width of saturation and luminance. But as you click and drag, watch those things change down there, especially going to the darks. We just selected like dark greens and light greens, so it selected all those greens. If we go back to our little highlight here, it'll show what it's selecting. There's a little bit of green in these curtains over here as well that it's selecting, but we can try to grab just as much of those leaves without grabbing it by changing the saturation. See it there? I've got most of the leaves here with luminance. That's getting rid of a little bit of the yellow and grabbing a little bit more of the green. As we move this around here, let's get that out of the yellow and just grab the greens a little bit. Now we're starting to grab the plants. So one thing I didn't show on the yellow flowers here is your Matte FInesse, which is this area down here to the right of your qualifier here. This will change basically the Matte FInesse means that this is your matte right here. You got a black and white matte. The white is what's left in, and the dark black is what's being left out. And if something's kind of a middle gray, that's basically dissolving it from white to black there, and it will be only like half affected. So if it's in a mid-range there, if it's gray. But we can go over and we can clean this up. Notice how the edges are kind of jaggy and not too smooth looking here. So what we could do is do pre-filtering. That basically intensifies all the white areas on our image there. We slide that around and then let go. It'll do a little bit of what's called pre-screen blurring. It blurs the pixels and softens them a little bit, but we can clean the black, clean the white, or blur the radius. I find myself using this blur radius. If you're looking at the black and white matte and there's a lot of dancing noise in the white, you can grab this and clean the white. See, it actually like fills in the white area there and grabs more of the matte there, more of the green there. So, and then the clean the black will get all the little dots in the dark and get rid of those as well. So that's probably blooming a little too much, so I'm just going to tone that down a little bit. And now you can actually grab blur radius to smooth everything out, and this will look at that, how it softens the edges. I'm just going to blur it just a teeny bit so it's nice and soft. Let's go back and turn this on, back on there. And let's look at the green here as let's saturate our green. I'm going to exaggerate, make them super green there. So that's super green. And now watch this as I turn this node off. Let's go Shift Z. It'll zoom up on it a little bit, but watch this as I hit Command D. Look at the greens, kind of go back to regular green there, and select the yellow, and it goes back to yellow. So if you're really trying to make the colors come out like in the sky, in the trees, like the green in the trees, this secondary color correction is a really good method of doing that. And one thing I want to touch on as well is also correcting skin tone. Let's show you how to correct skin tone here. I'm going to grab one of these shots where we have a subject in our frame here, and we're going to work on the secondaries here. I'm going to do some contrast first on this first node. I'm going to put some contrast in here, and then I'm going to pivot to bring a little bit more exposure to the shot. So I've got some contrast there, nice contrast going on, and now I'm going to go to the next one, Option S, and make a new one, and we're going to work on what's called skin tone. This is a secondary color grade that we're doing here. We're going to move up to the face here, and we're going to move our mouse over. I've got this node selected. We'll move over the mouse and click on the face, and it has selected this range of hue, this range of saturation, and this range of luminance. And hue, once again, is basically the color shade that you have, and in saturation is the intensity. You'll notice as it's got this color selected. It's got up here is the most saturated color of this range, and down here it's desaturated and gray, and then luminance is how bright it is. So what we can do is we can go to our vector scope here, and our vector scope is going to help by showing us the skin tone line. I'm going to remove this, detach it, and let's show you the skin tone line. I'm going to click on the settings here for the vector scope, and we're going to go down and check on Show Skin Tone Indicator. This is actually hue rather than tone. Tone is brightness levels, but hue is skin color. And right now it has given us this line right here that shows us what color pretty much everybody's skin should be right here. Everybody shares, but mostly red skin with a little bit of yellow in it, just a little bit of yellow. But where people really differ is in darkness of their skin. White people are going to have a lot lighter skin, where black people will have darker skin. And where they're similar is going to be in this color right here. If we select just those colors, the skin should be pretty close to this line. If it's not, that's correctable. And this is one way to correct this. Is we're going to move over. We've got our qualifier selected. I'm going to move over, and we're going to, let's reset that node there. I'll reset it. And I'm going to move up and click on our face right here. Actually, I'm going to click and drag across our face and get a lot of those skin tones right there. Let's turn on our gray and color there. Our gray background and our color, which is being left in. We've got a lot of the face selected there. And if you look at this now, look at the color on her skin. It is pushing right up on that line right there. And And if you had to correct that a little bit, if you weren't getting accurate skin colors, you can grab this and you can drag it off one way or the other until you correct that, until you get it right on the proper line there. So and if we want to change the whole thing, we can go down to offset and change that, and we can get the skin color so it's going to be accurate. And sometimes you can desaturate it a little bit if you don't want your skin popping so bright as well, or you can saturate it a little bit more and make it even more prominent there. So let's show that. I've actually done a boost on the skin there. Let's turn off our highlight here, and I'm going to select this. And now watch this when I hit Command D. Watch your face. Command D, I turned it off. Look how that brought a lot more color to her face and makes her feel a little bit more alive there. So that is one way the secondary is also used, is to not just select skin tone or correct skin tone, but sometimes to boost the skin tone and make it look a little bit more colorful and make the people look more, I guess you could say, alive. So, and once again with this image, if we want to get even a better selection, we can move up here. And we can grab, let's do our black and white image right there. And we're going to clean the whites a little bit, gets rid of some of that noise in the whites, and clean the black and gets rid of some of the noise in the darks there. And then we can do the blur radius and soften it up just a little bit so it's not so hard edged. And now we can turn our highlights off and then check out our new color grade. Command D, that's before. That's after we brought some color back to her face. So cool. Well, that's it for this episode. In the next episode, we are going to be going over the node tree and show you how that functions. And then finally, we'll get to color grading a project. So thank you for watching ChinFat. And if you have any questions or comments, please post them.